A man who was demoted in his job after he said gay marriage in a church was wrong has won court action against his employers. 55-year-old Adrian Smith lost his managerial position and had a 40% salary cut after making the comment on Facebook. Mr. Smith posted a link to a news story about gay weddings in churches and wrote an equality too far. He went on to say, "I don't understand why people who have no faith and don't believe in Christ would want to get hitched in a church, and the Bible is quite specific that marriage is for men and women." Well, today a tribunal ruled that his employers, the Trafford Housing Trust, had breached his contract by demoting him. As you can see, joining me now is Mike Judge from the Christian Institute and Andy Wasley from the gay rights group Stonewall. It's great to have you both on the programme tonight, gentlemen. Mike, let's start with you, because I know that your organisation supported Adrian through his process. Why did you support him, and are you happy with the outcome?
Well, Adrian's delighted, we're delighted, and I think everybody who cares about free speech is delighted. We chose to support it because there is an important principle at stake, and that is that people should be free to express their views. I think particularly when they express their views in a very polite way, like Adrian did. And I think whatever side of the debate you're on about gay marriage, I think everyone pretty much agrees, huge overreaction here.
And Andy, is this a victory for freedom of speech? I mean, surely you must support that.
Of course we do. And in this case, Trafford Housing Trust obviously acted in an excessively heavy-handed way with somebody who had politely and temperately expressed a legitimate point of view. It might be a point of view that I happen to disagree with, that Stonewall disagrees with, that we campaign against, but it was expressed politely, and this really should never have come to court.
Well, Mike, we've been in touch, as you can imagine, with the Trafford Housing Trust. This is the Chief Executive has said this to us tonight. We fully accept the court's decision, and I've made a full and sincere apology to Adrian. At the time, we believed we were taking the appropriate action. What do you make of that?
Well, I think two things. One is, if the apology really is sincere, then give him his managerial job back. They haven't done that yet, surprisingly. The other thing I'd say is the fact that they said at the time they thought that this was appropriate. I mean, how could it possibly be appropriate to demote someone and cut their salary by 40% for expressing very polite views, which actually happen to be the same views as the Prime Minister in terms of gay weddings in churches? So, you know, I think that there has become a poisonous atmosphere surrounding this debate, and people should be free to disagree.
And if we widen this, not just focusing on Mr. Smith for the moment, but is this an example of political correctness gone mad, that companies, organisations, individuals feel so sensitive about talking about issues which might be sensitive to the public eye? You know, you can go over the top in terms of the way that you react to them.
Well, I think what's really important is that people concentrate on the importance of free speech, as we're talking about here. If somebody wants to have a debate about an issue, such as equal marriage, that they happen to disagree with, so long as they do so in a way that doesn't, you know, vilify gay people, and Mr. Smith did not vilify gay people, they should be free to do so. This is an important...
Because Mr. Smith believes that he and others will become outcasts. Is that a reality, do you think?
Well, I'm sitting here having a debate about it with Mike, and I think the media in general has shown, I think, a reasonable balance on this debate, with giving both sides of the both sides of the debate an opportunity to air their views. What's important is that we continue to have this dialogue in a polite, reasoned and temperate manner. As long as we can do that, then I think we can do justice to both sides of the argument. Because,
Mike, you can understand why having equality policies in place is very, very important, isn't it?
It is important, but equality policies have to embrace the equality of Christians as well, and Christians who might hold traditional beliefs. And I think we are concerned that if the law changes on marriage, that whilst Andy understands the importance of free speech, clearly there are people in positions of management who don't quite get it. And I think people will be treated as outcasts, particularly in the public sector.
How is Adrian now? I mean, he's won £100. I mean, that's a paltry amount, isn't it?
It is. I mean, the reason that he only won £100 was for technical legal reasons. He was never interested in the money. He was interested in the principle, and free speech is priceless.
OK, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight.